So I've already mentioned that Shadow of the Colossus on PS2 is one of my favorite games, one of my top 5 favorite games. And today I want to show some merchandise from that game. First, and I kind of wanted to leave this till last, but to get it out of the cabinet is a pain, is the Valles Statue, the first Colossus in the game. And it's incredible how detailed this thing is. And also how fragile it is. I can imagine this thing breaking extremely easily. So I don't really want to breathe on it much. Interesting to note on this, it says 2006 Sony. It's a Kotobukiya statue. And that company is known for its detail and its taking on some really detailed stuff. They handle the Final Fantasy figures that are extremely detailed and stuff like this. But the most interesting thing to note on this statue, I think is really cool, is the size. There's Wander down there at the bottom. He actually comes out. He's just a teeny tiny little guy. But look at the detail on him. If it'll focus in. That's pretty incredible for a little guy. But he's on there next to that giant club fighting old Valles here. And you can see, I mean, the rings on the buckle and the armor, each individual spike on the back where you climb up. And then of course the pattern right there where you can see where you hit his weak spot. And you can see the weak spot in his leg where you climb up too. So a really fantastic statue, very, very rare. And coveted by fans of the game. I don't think many of them know that this exists, so interesting to note. Okay, so Kotobukiya also made one coin figures, what they call them, like a gashapon set. And that set also includes Valles. Also great detail. So they made the statue and the figure. So this is almost a scale model of what the statue is. It's in a slightly different pose. And what's great about this is you can see on there Wander has his sword and he's climbing the guy right on the figure. So that is fantastic detail, and such intricate detail on something so small is really hard to do. So kudos to the artist. Also in the set, Avion, the bird-like Colossus with his giant tail, and boy, this is one of my favorite ones to fight. The game really took off after Gaius, the human one, and then it never really let you go. Actually, it really, from the get-go, it kind of has your attention, but I really like Gaius, the human-like one, and then this one is probably my first on the big list. Okay, also in the set is Shinobi Ax. I think that's right, yeah. And this was where you fight he's kind of like a dog-like Colossus, and you fight him in the ruins where all the columns are. And this is the scene where you're on the column and he's bashing the column and he's trying to knock you off your feet so he can get you. This guy was a real pain. You had to knock his armor off and then you could kill him. It took quite a while to get his armor off too. This guy's name is Pelagia. He's kind of like the island Colossus, and there's Wander again facing him on the temple ruins right there. This is where he starts to throw the lightning bolts at you, but his weak spot is also exposed. You can see it on there. It's really hard to show it to you. It's kind of that green circular thing. And on the bottom it just says copyright SCEI, which is Sony Computer Entertainment International. And it says made in China. And this one has a different base than the other ones because it's in the water. And you ride this guy's head over to this little temple ruin or whatever, and then he raises up out of the water and you gotta kill him. This is probably the largest Colossus, unless Malice is, because, I don't know, there's so much water underneath this guy, because you do swim in there, and you never really get to see just how big he is. But speaking of Malice, this is the final Colossus of the game. Spoiler alert! Of course, if you haven't played this game by now, you've had many, many years to do so. This I like to call the Castle Colossus, because he's a walking castle. A lot of people kind of posit that the Colossi themselves are built from the ruins that they inhabit, and when they die they just kind of go back to being the ruins. But there's so much about this game that you don't know, and that's part of the best part about the game. The intricate detail on this guy is incredible. Trying to go slow so it focuses, especially on his hands and his fur and his bracelets, and even down here in the bottom you can see, I mean, you can literally see every place you go in the game to get on top of his head to kill him, and all the details are there. It's really remarkable just how much is going on this figure. And there's 2 more figures in the set. This one being one of my favorites. It's Aggro and Wander. Sort of like that classic Link and Epona pose, but whatever. I'm sure a lot of Zelda fans were drawn to this game, so there's no problem with that. But really, it's its own beast. I mean, no pun intended. So a lot of good detail on there. Probably less than the other figures, but not as much detail as needed. Great pose, though. And then any good gashapon set has a secret figure or a chase figure, sometimes they're called. And this chase figure features Mono, and she has not been removed from the bag in my set, so she's really rare to have in this set. I think she was like 1 per case or something like that. That tends to be the rule among secret figures. And she comes with a little altar or whatever that she sleeps on. And there's a little stand there. I don't know if you can see that very well. But that is the secret figure. So, and I really wish they would have made a second series to cover all the Colossi in the game, because that would have been great to have, excuse me, to have figures of all the Colossi. But maybe when the HD remake comes out, they'll run another set. That'd be great. But thanks for watching this little segment, and hope to see you again soon. One more Shadow of the Colossus thing to show you, and this was given to me by my good friend JD West, or JD83 on the forums, and this came in the limited edition box set from the Japanese version, so it's the Naiko version of the game, and it came in this little pouch. And being the amazing guy he is, he just gave it to me, which is great. When he came here to visit me in the museum, when he stopped off on his little trip, so that was really great of him. Thanks again, JD. So that really is it. Thanks for watching.